Good afternoon, everyone. It's 20 past 5 on Tuesday, the 26th of October. As always, at the start of these, I'm looking at VectorVest USA, which is running. The S&P is up 15 points, and we've had a great run. They always go on further than I think they will. So as of last Friday, everything is still pointing up. The short-term trend is up, underlying trend is up, medium-term trend is up, and the longest measure of the trend that we have in VectorVest is up. And we've got 1.42 more shares on a buy recommendation than on a sell recommendation. All looks good. We'll look at the S&P 500 in a second. In fact, let's do that now. There's the S&P 500. And as you can see, it's pushed up very strongly. It's gone a bit further than I thought it would. But nevertheless, we've had this pullback now, which I think is definitely A, B, and a C in Elliott terminology, and I think we're now moving up. And 1, 2, that's definitely 3, and sooner or later we're going to have 4, and then a final push to 5 in this first move up. I'm very confident, as confident as one can be in this line of work, that we have got a strong run into Christmas. Certainly the seasonality is in our favour, and I shall certainly for one be betting on it. I am betting on it. So I want now to look at the 4-hour market, because there's the 4-hour market, folks, and whether you believe this is 0, that's 1, this is 2 that I talked about a second ago, and within 2 there's a nice 3-way pullback. And as you can see, my first method of working out where the darn thing's going to go to is a extension of the wave 2. So I've done this, and as you can see, it went through the 1.618 extension like a knife through butter, and then the momentum slowed a bit, and it made its way up to the 2.618. And that's around the even number at 4600, and that's where it came off this afternoon. Of course, it can go to the next fib level, which would be 1.618 times 1.618 times 1.618, which is 4.23, but that's relatively rare. So I would expect this to pull back now a little bit, and as I say, if I was a betting man, I would expect it to pull back to 38% of that, and that would take us back to this figure 4500. Okay, so that's just pure speculation. The trend is up at the moment, and I'm riding the trend, but to me it looks as if it needs a pullback, and then it should move up. Where's it going to go to? Well, rather than extending this pullback, we'd extend the big one to see where this wave is going to go to. And ladies and gentlemen, if I was a betting man, I would say that is heading here, at least to 4723. And I haven't done this very carefully, but somewhere up around there, 4720, 4750. And of course, it could keep going to the 2.618, which is at 5,000. So that's what I think is in front of us, but I think we've got to pull back first. I assure you, I should be trading the market and what VectorVest says, not my silly forecast, but that's my best shot at the forecast for you. So let me get rid of that. I haven't done anything this afternoon in terms of short-term, but long-term stuff I'm happy to report is going really well, especially NVDA, and NVDA is up $16 today. I got in at 213. It's now at 247. That's very healthy, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Builders, I'm still in the money, but not great. So let's have a look at these, because whether you're in them or not, there's some good education. Come on, girl. There we go. That's NVIDIA. And as you can see, there's the spring stroke dartly pattern. That was my entry point just there. 1, 2, 3 break. I like the gap. So that was a good one. And you can see the spring stroke Gartley pattern where, as I keep telling people, the best trades occur after the majority of people have in fact been nailed. So a market went right down. All the people who bought in here got stopped out, certainly in this little bit. That created a wave of liquidity for the smarter money to get in. Now, what's happened, and any of you that have taken your money off the table, I think that that's just great, because it actually went, it went exactly to that, if I get this right, to that 1.618 extension. So I didn't have an order in the system, but I am quite encouraged, folks, by this gap. I haven't seen any news that caused this gap. There must have been some that I'm not aware of. I'm still basically a technical trader using VectorVest for the fundamentals, so I don't look at news maybe as carefully as I should do. I always think that if you see a market gapping like that, that's very positive. So I'm going to do my best to hang on to that. I could give money back, and I always put, if there's been a gap through a obvious resistance level, I put my stop under the low of the candle prior to the gap. So I'm going to bring my stop up this afternoon underneath that low. Okay. I haven't done it yet, but that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. So that's builders, and that outside bar needs to be watched. Okay. I don't know what the hell's happened here. The share is significantly undervalued. Earnings is good, but somebody didn't like something in there. Okay. So AMD, and we have results. I don't know when they're coming, but they're coming soon. Again, we've got an old high. It's pushed through that old high. I'm well in the money here. My stop is at entry there. I haven't brought it up. And very, very difficult to bring your stop up and still get the big ones. Nevertheless, any of you that have banked at the old high, then well done. That's Lincoln. That's starting to look quite nice to me. And Microsoft. And I haven't been that active. There was certainly an awful lot more stocks that I could have looked at in this run, but I'm reasonably pleased with my efforts there. I waited until the VectorVest market timing, DEW, gave me a signal, and got in and ticked all the boxes, and especially favored my spring pattern. Okay, builders and Lincoln, maybe a little bit late, came off the Midas Touch watch list, and the pattern that I used there was a cup and handle pattern, which is still in play. Okay, so if we have a quick look before we leave, that's the wrong chart. We have a quick look at the gold market. The gold market gets stopped and it strikes at that 78% retracement. And that flag pattern up is not healthy. So this market needs to get through that 1812 level ASAP to actually put me in a positive frame of mind about gold, because this could easily be a flag. There's 5 waves in the flag, and a breakdown here would see this market come down towards these lows of a few weeks ago, a few months ago. And down below here, there's one hell of an awful lot of air. So really, really important juncture for gold. I'm still holding 2 gold stocks. As you know, I've sweated through them for a very long time. But a very critical afternoon for the gold market. Needs to get up, and certainly if we do get up above 1830, 1840, then the whole situation would change for gold, and I would in fact be adding to those gold stocks. Market's got a lot of work to do before that's the case. So let's keep our eye on that. If we go to the UK, well, a very pleasant looking front page of VectorVest UK. And as you can see, we got a confirmed up after the close last Friday. We discussed this in great detail yesterday. I think I would have the wit to turn that ringer off, wouldn't you? At our VectorVest Q&A. And I'm just doing it now so it doesn't stuff us up in a second. All the measures of the trend are up, and momentum very strong. That little black star tells us that the price is up day over day and week over week. But the momentum is up as well. So that's good. VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. I'm slowly but surely getting back to being fully invested. And this morning I bought some. What did I buy? I bought some Polar Capital. I wrote about Polar Capital in my blog a couple of weeks ago, and that share looking quite good. And I bought Volex at the heel end of last week, and I added to Cape. And very interestingly, for Cape, intraday came back today and ran the stops. Steve, RT40 from Oxford, sent me the intraday chart a moment ago, and it came right down. I don't know how long it was down there for, but it came right down and reversed. So have a look at that chart tonight. You should actually see how those lows were run. That's very, very positive for the share. I bought into it, I think it was Friday. I added to a position I've got under £4, but that looks to me, after having a quick glance at that chart that Steve sent me, looks as if this wants to blast off with if we have a reasonably decent market. If the US market pulls back, we will pull back with it. Pershing Squares had an outstanding few days after a very long period of doing absolutely sod all. As you can see, we've got this cup and handle pattern. I should have added to it, but I didn't, because the earnings per share picture is not great. And over the years, clearly it's up here, but over the years with VectorVest, I've found that this is one of the most important leading indicators on our program. If this is moving up nicely from the bottom left to the top right of the chart, then your trading tends to go really, really well. Nevertheless, the technical pattern is good, and I'm in the share and looking forward to it moving up towards heaven. Sylvania got up a bit yesterday. Somebody told me it was up a little bit today as well. I see that BlackRock World Mining, which I've got on another portfolio, is doing very well today. Oil's up a tad or two. And Volex had a nice run yesterday, and I think it was up today as well, if my memory serves me correct. That's the Volex chart, and just needs to close emphatically above this level, and I think the game will be on. I'm going to do my best to get back to being fully invested in the UK market. I don't know what's going to happen next. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. But all our signals are saying yes, and the seasonality is saying yes. However, I would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, to see a 3 to 5 day pullback relatively soon. Well, I've been saying that for 2 or 3 days now, and absolutely nothing has happened. On Friday, myself and Jonathan will be at the Investors Show, which is at the Novotel Hotel in Hammersmith. So anybody listening who can make a beeline to Hammersmith, come and say hello. I've got 3 presentations during the day. I was only supposed to have 2, but the organizer, Lisa Campbell, one of the speakers, let her down. So yours truly has been drafted in. So I have a talk at, I think, 9:45 on growth stocks. I have a talk, I think, at 11 on swing trading, and then I have a talk in the afternoon on how to set up the VectorVest worry-free and trading methodology. So if you can get along to Hammersmith, even if you don't have the time to to sit in the talks, come along to our stand and say hello. Thanks very much.